Hi guys, good to see you guys. Can we get the likes up? You guys already know the drill. If you disagree with the prompt, go ahead and request. We are just looking at the debates. I'm so tired. Um, I'm not gonna. Oh, why is the camera lagging like that? This camera has been so weird. I'm gonna have to buy a new webcam because this camera was so good the first couple of days, and now it's doing this lagging nonsense. Good to see you guys, though. I know a lot of you are wondering. So, for those who didn't know, I put the announcement in my Discord, but I know not everyone is in the Discord. I had a strep throat infection. I got over it pretty quickly by pushing fluids and a lot of Halls. My house is still full of Halls wrappers because of it. So, if you disagree with the prompt, go ahead and request. Can I get your age, please?
20.
Okay. Do you disagree with the prompt?
Well, I think I just came in, so I just want to get some clarification. Are you saying that like all trans women or specifically like are you
A
talking
particular
about
amount, not all, no.
why do you think that?
Well, a lot of trans women, the common belief amongst the trans community or persons who are trans is that woman and man, those terms refer to social performances and social constructs, often just referring to gender roles and stereotypes. It's very sexist, especially for trans women as males, as the gender who is typically oppressive towards women, to claim that they are women through a load of stereotypes and presentation. Women are not costumes. So for trans women to claim that they're women through the social construct of femininity, it reduces women and it's aggressive and sexist.
I don't think that's necessarily true. I would say they probably like saying that they conform to what society seems as a woman and that they
No,
like feel
they conform to what society considers feminine and they think that it makes them women. That's where the sexism is. Woman
no,
isn't a
well
social idea, feminine is. That's the
they
thing.
are women though.
They're not.
Trans women are women, yeah.
No, they're not.
Why don't you think so?
Because they're men.
Well, they're male, but they're women.
Men are adult human males.
So you don't think that sex and gender is different?
I do think sex and gender are different, but the sex gender distinction is not the difference between woman, man, male, and female. That's not what the gender sex distinction is. You have never read sociology. The difference between gender and sex in the sociological and anthropological sciences is the difference between masculine, feminine, male, and female. So the social construct of gender is not woman and man in the context of sociology and anthropology. The difference between sex and gender is the difference between masculine and feminine, male and female. Masculine and feminine are social constructs, not woman and man.
I'm okay. Well, I guess
Right.
I
Right.
disagree.
So then, yeah, they're not women. They're men. They can be feminine, but they're not women. But since you think that trans women are women, you all know what to type in chat. Why don't you go ahead and tell me what you think a woman is?
Well, I don't think there's like one set definition. I would say a woman is someone who fits the social norms of, I don't know, like, I don't
Yeah.
think it's as cut as,
What are the social norms that define women? And by the way, you're about to prove that the also I should add on the prompt that the women like yourself who support the trans movement are also sexist because you think women are defined by societal norms. If you look historically at societal norms are generally stereotypical and are often forced on women. Beauty standards, the way that they should look, the way that they should behave. The fact that you think women are defined by those things and you're up here saying that men can be women through those things is exactly the point I'm trying to make. But you can go ahead and tell me what the norms are.
well,
What are the norms that define women?
I don't think it's like specifically anything. I don't know, like, I don't feel the need, like, if somebody says they're a woman and then I don't get why we can't just accept that, you
Sure,
know?
if an adult tells you they're a child, do you believe them?
No, because that doesn't make any sense.
Why?
Because they would be over 18.
Right. So when a man tells you he's a woman, you don't accept it because he's a male. Bingo. So
But
it's
you
for the same
already,
reason.
but you already said that you don't think that sex and gender is the same thing.
Yeah, I don't. I did say sex and gender were different in a particular context, and I explained to you the context under which gender and sex are different. But gender is not woman and man in that context. I just addressed this. Okay, so when you read, I know that a lot of you liberals or you people who are pro-trans, you read things, but you don't actually read them. You don't comprehend them. When the
What?
statement is made, was I unclear with what I said?
Well, I never said I'm a liberal,
Well,
and I'm
I said liberals or pro-trans people. You're one of the two. You're pro-trans for sure, because you're up here saying men can be women. That's what I'm saying now, right? So,
pro-trans, as in like
so
I support trans people.
you know,
Like,
you think no, pro-trans. We support trans people's right to exist. I don't think that they exist as what they think that they are, but we support. There's nothing wrong with trans people existing, right? That's not the statement. So everybody supports trans people's right to exist. We support every human's right to exist, right? So, anyways, the point is, you guys read things and you guys don't actually comprehend what's being said. So when the claim is made that gender and sex are different in sociology, they're not saying woman and man are social constructs. That's not what they're saying.
what are they saying then?
They're saying that there are socially constructed behaviors, norms, and roles that are associated with men and women and/or expected of men and women that are socially constructed. We call those things masculine and feminine ideals and characteristics. Those things are socially constructed. Women and men are defined by sex. So women are human females who are adults, and men are human males who are adults. Those terms are defined by sex. You're conflating masculine and feminine with woman and man. And when you do that and say that men can be women through those very sexist masculine and feminine stereotypes and gender norms, not only are you reducing women to stereotypes, you're also being quite sexist and regressive.
I don't think that's true. I'm not sexist, and I'm not reducing women to
You just defined
stereotypes.
women by gender norms. You
No.
just said that a woman was a person who conformed to particular gender norms. You literally just did that.
Okay, well maybe I misspoke. I guess I
Okay,
don't have
so
like a
so let's re-ask the question then. What is a woman?
an adult
Uh,
woman. I don't know.
You
Like
can't say an adult woman. See, this is my issue. You're up here saying trans women and women. You're a woman and you don't know what you don't even know what you are.
I do know what I am. I just don't
Then
think
tell
it's
me what a
I
woman
just
is.
your whole purpose up here is to like tell trans people that they aren't valid and they're fake and like
I'm
that
not
they're
saying
like
trans people aren't valid. Trans people are valid as the gender that they were born. You can't be
then
valid
that's
as a gender that you're not, because they're not women, they're men.
so you're saying they're not valid, which is what I
They're
just said
not
you're saying.
yeah, they're not valid as women. That doesn't mean that they're not valid as men. Trans people are valid as the gender that they are, right? If I said to you dogs were not valid as cats, is that mean to the dogs?
No, but you
Right.
just
So if
said
I
that
say men are not valid as women, that's not a disrespectful statement. That's just what it is. They're not valid as women because they're men. And the thing is, you can't even contend with it because you don't know what a woman is. I'm asking you, and you haven't answered me.
yeah, I don't have a definition for
So
a woman.
how?
I'm
So
sure there's a
okay. So
lot.
how are you able to demonstrate to me that you know trans women and women if you can't give me a definition?
Because they here, let's look up a definition.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, she's gone to look it up. So you see how these women who support the trans movement have to be looking up their own existence to prove that men can be women. It's quite strange, isn't it, Cha? Okay. Sorry, had to reset my camera. I hope it's working now. All right, so if you disagree with the prompt, go ahead and request. We are just looking for some debates. Hopefully that young lady re-requests because, yet again, my issue is that a lot of women are roped into this ideology. A lot of women are pushed into this ideology, and they're up here defending trans women as women, and they don't even know what a woman is. That's the embarrassing part. Are y'all not embarrassed? Can I get your age?
18.
Y'all know what to type in chat. Do you disagree with the prompt?
A little bit, but I really just wanted to, excuse my voice. I had tonsil surgery 3 days ago, but what's it called? I really just wanted to like get your point of view on how it comes across, like sexist, homophobic, and like grape culture kind of. I just wanted to get your point of view.
Well, there's
I'm
three
not up here
facets.
to argue, just so you know. I'm not up here to
Oh,
argue.
well, it's a debate panel. I'm not asking you to argue. You're here to debate.
Yeah.
But all right. So the first part when it comes to the sexism, I've explained this before. The common belief among pro-trans people is that women are just some sort of social construct, that the women are just some sort of gender performance or performance of femininity. That is very sexist. To reduce women to stereotypes and say that a person can be a woman simply by saying that they are one and performing hyperfemininity and performing stereotypes and archetypes is sexist. A lot of trans women continually state that that's what womanhood is. It's a social performance. It's a social construct. All of those ideas are sexist and regressive towards women, right? So that's the sexism that often comes from trans women. Now, as far as the homophobia goes, it's the homophobia more so comes from. You have a slight echo. If you want to mute while I'm talking, so. Yeah, the homophobia it comes through several facets. Firstly, lots of trans women foster the internalized homophobia of men by stating that if they're in a relationship with them that they're straight. I just want to make it clear. I hope we all are aware in the chat that straight men do not date trans women. If you're a trans woman who is stating that you're dating a man, you're in a same-sex relationship, and you're calling it straight, you are not only fostering homophobia, you may also have some internalized homophobia. And also, it's just the general homophobia that comes from trans women. They seem to think that they've transcended being gay because they were gay men before they were trans, and they think that that means that they're not gay anymore. And then they demean gay men and they demean bisexual men like myself who state facts about them, that being that they are not women, right? So that's the homophobia I'm talking about. That comes from most trans women in my experience, especially as a black man, black trans women. Okay. Now, the grape culture, also very simple. It's just a matter of lack of disclosure. A lot of trans people don't think that they owe people disclosure, especially in very intimate situations like sexual or romantic interaction. A lot of trans women sleep with men or they sexually engage with persons and don't tell them that they're trans. It's sexual assault and it's normalized nowadays, and that's what grape culture is. Grape culture is essentially a society, or when we exist in a society that allows for grape culture, it essentially normalizes SA and grape, and that's what people do. They're normalizing people not disclosing that they're trans to their sexual partners, and it does contribute to grape culture. That's it.
Okay, yeah, no, I understand that, but I just feel like, well, as a trans woman, I just feel like not all trans women don't disclose, but I do understand that because I was just on another panel talking about that actually, and I do feel like there are a lot of trans women that don't disclose simply because they're fully like searched out, and they think that since they're searched out, they can just get away with anything, and I feel like that is indeed a part of Brit culture, so I do agree with that, but I just wanted to come on here and get your point of view.
Okay, all right, is that it?
Yeah. Thank
Okay,
you.
beautiful. Thank you for coming up. And nobody's bullying anybody, by the way. I don't know why y'all keep calling. You guys call everything bullying. No one's bullying anyone. The fact of the matter is, men cannot be women. If y'all call that bullying, then well,
faggot. Damn.
I'm
Nobody wants to
a
hear your
big
loud
bad.
ass.
I'm a
Your
big
loud
bad
mouth ass
bully.
faggot. You big lip
Yeah,
faggot.
you see how I just want to clarify.
Shut up,
These
faggot.
are the
Nobody
people
cares.
that claim that they're supportive of the LGBT. Are y'all hearing that? Y'all hear all them slurs? TikTok, we don't support that kind of behavior, by the way. Let's see if he's gonna crash out again. All right, you gonna act like an adult this time, or you gonna crash out? If you say any slurs, I'm gonna have to drop you. I'm making it clear. So no
Stop muting,
slurs.
bitch.
No slurs. If you
That's
say
not a
any
slur,
slurs,
bitch.
no, not the B word.
No, bitch ain't a slur.
If you say the F slur, it's a slur.
Stop muting, jackass.
So maybe calm down.
Moron.
Guys, I think
All
he's
right.
struggling with internalized homophobia. What do y'all think?
You got a
If
mental
y'all
illness.
think he's struggling with internalized homophobia, you let
Mental
me know.
illness.
I think he has an issue.
Mentally slow.
I'm mentally slow, but you don't know how to have a conversation without
You
using
can't let me
slurs. Well, I can't let you talk because you're gonna
Nah, that's just what gay-
you're gonna let TikTok flag your words
You do the
because you're
same
saying
shit.
slurs. So don't say slurs, and I'll let you talk. The moment you say a slur, I'm gonna drop you. I'll let you talk, but there's no need for you to come up here with slurs. The hate in your heart, you need to release
Shut
it,
up.
okay? Right, release it. It's okay.
Good God.
All right, so relax. All right, go ahead and say what you have to say. Let's get your age before you crash out like an insecure
21.
man. 21. Okay, what's the issue?
I mean, you're not a woman.
Am I saying that I am one?
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Why you dressed like that?
What? I'm in a t-shirt.
Oh, you got lipstick on.
It's called
Talking-
lip gloss,
talking gay.
and I don't have lipstick on.
You do.
I don't. It's the saturation of the camera settings.
Either way, you're trans, right?
No, I'm not.
Well, what's your point of being up here then?
Yeah, did you read the fucking prompt?
I don't know. I
So
just
you
seen.
didn't.
Hold on. Hold on. Wait.
You didn't read.
No, I
You
just
didn't.
seen something
Hold
about
on.
gay people and
Wait.
trans people.
Read
I
the
just don't
prompt.
like. I just wait.
Read.
I don't.
Shut up. Read the prompt.
Faggot.
Read the and there it is. Didn't even read the prompt. Didn't even read the prompt, and you coming up here telling me that I'm not a woman. Am I claiming to be a woman, Chance? Have I ever said that I'm a woman? No. You attacking the wrong person. Can I get your age?
46.
Okay. I also just want to clarify, y'all, not that there's anything wrong with men wearing lipstick, but I don't have lipstick on. It's the camera saturation settings, okay? If I rub
Whatever
my
you say,
fingers,
pal.
I don't have any.
That camera is fucking saturated then. 'Cause
Yeah, it's
that
very
looks like
saturated.
yeah.
It even
That
makes
looks
my
like
fingertips
lipstick,
very
bro.
red, right? So,
All
anyways,
right.
do you disagree with the prompt?
Sure, man. Dude,
You-
there's a conundrum. Because I don't consider myself homophobic, but I look at somebody like yourself, who I guess you're not trans. I'll take you at your word. All right, you're extremely fucking feminine, though. So
Okay.
you might as well be a chick, man.
No.
Your femininity is just fucking over the top.
No, I think
No, the way you handle yourself
no,
is
men,
extremely
y'all need to no, you need to
feminine.
come to terms. No, you need to come to
So-
terms with the fact that men can be feminine and we don't think that we're women. There's nothing wrong with being feminine.
But I'm going to tell you as a straight man, I would rather you use a woman's restroom. Because
No.
when you come into my restroom, it makes me uncomfortable.
But you're
So you're
uncomfortability.
making both sides uncomfortable.
Hold on,
bruh.
no, because well, this isn't about me, but all right. Just because you as a man don't feel comfortable with another man in the men's restroom doesn't mean you get to violate women's boundaries and say that man has to now go to the women's. You're speaking from a place of entitlement, right? Women fought for their spaces, they fought for their single-sex spaces.
And so did we.
Males always had single-sex spaces.
Yeah.
Yeah, males
Well,
didn't have
let's
to
keep
fight.
them that way.
Men didn't have to fight for their own restrooms. No.
Well,
Women were the ones.
Keep them that
No,
way.
women were the ones who were on urinary leashes. They had to fight for their spaces. You didn't have to fight for shit. You just had to be born with a dick.
Urinary leashes.
You don't know what urinary leashes are, and you're talking about women's restrooms. You want me to educate you on what urinary leashes
Yeah,
are?
educate me, bro.
All right. So urinary leashes were essentially restrictions placed on women, and their access to public facilities and women's restrooms and those kinds of spaces, right? So women were actually restricted from leaving their homes. They could only use their bathrooms at home. They didn't have women's restrooms, right? And women were actually
When
punished.
did this change?
Women were socially sanctioned for leaving their houses against their husband's permission or their partner's permission to use the restroom. So women didn't have single-sex facilities. Okay,
And when did
why.
that change?
What do you mean? What did that change?
When did that change?
Well, over the course of history, I think I'll probably give you a proper date. I'll just address. I'll probably pull it up for you. When were urinary leashes discontinued? You could have looked this up, but all right. Let's see. Yeah, it says it was not discontinued, but it was gradually alleviated in the beginning of the late 19th century and the early 20th century. So that would be the late 1800s into the 1900s.
Take your word for it.
Right, and women fought for their rights to those spaces. Now, a feminine man is not a woman. A feminine man is a man. So you don't have the right to tell me that I should have to go to the women's restroom because I'm feminine. And that applies to trans women as well. Feminine men do not belong in the women's restroom. Feminine men belong in the men's restroom. If you don't feel comfortable in the men's space with another man, maybe you should leave. Why are you uncomfortable with feminine men?
Man. Because
Are you scared that you might be attracted to them?
no, man, I don't know what you're looking at.
But I told you what I am, and you know what you're looking at. What's your issue with feminine men?
Dude, I don't have an issue with anybody, honestly.
You just said that
I'm
feminine.
coming up-
You
I'm
just
coming up
said
here
that.
because I
Wait,
kind of think
no.
you're just a dick,
You-
dude.
you just
I've heard
said-
you before. I hear how you are. I hear how you attack the trans community all under the umbrella
Attack
of,
the
I
trans
do care
community?
about the trans community.
Who am I
You're
attacking?
full of shit.
Who am I attacking?
You just let people be people, man.
I'm not
They
stopping
don't
people from.
fucking and you try to take this high moral ground of what is what, and I'm going to use science, and I'm going to use all these fucking. But dude, if somebody is a female and they feel like they're a man, then they're a fucking man. And I don't
No,
give about
that's
your
not.
fucking,
That's not how
oh, you're
the. That's not how the
dude,
world
I don't care.
works.
I don't care, man. I don't.
Well,
I don't
I think
care.
you
I
should. So
disagree
let me. Okay, I know you disagree, but let me respond to what you're saying. All right. And by the way, these are the men who are supposed to be the protectors. By the way, who are up here saying that it's okay for men to go into women's spaces. I want y'all to know that. So really quickly, let me just hold on. Let me just clarify something for you. Okay. That's not how the world works. Right? Just because you feel like you are something doesn't
Dude,
mean
who the
you
fuck
are
told you?
the
What
thing.
do you mean? Who are you, the judge of the world?
It's called common sense, boo boo.
It's not.
Do you want me
It's
to?
your common
I can
sense.
introduce you. No, it is common sense. Period. It's common sense that men cannot be women. Maybe you're lacking
It's
in that
your
department
common sense.
because you're too
It's your
busy being
belief.
uncomfortable
It's
with
how
feminine
you
men
feel.
in the men's restroom. Right. So, anyways, really quickly, can you give an example of what I'm doing that is attacking the trans community? Because
That
you're
is how
y'all
you
busy that I'm
feel.
attacking the trans community, but y'all can't explain how I'm doing it. So you explain to me how I'm attacking trans people.
Because you won't listen to the trans community.
I've been listening
If
to them. Why
there's
you think I'm on
a
live?
male that believes he's a female and he
That-
identifies as a female,
male who
and
believes
then
that he's
a
a-
fucking female.
Okay,
It's
sure. If
not up to
okay,
you to judge
sure.
who they
Okay,
are.
okay,
or
sure. If-
common sense.
Okay,
or the
beautiful.
world
All right.
view.
Okay,
Because you're
all right.
just one freaking chick on fucking TikTok saying your opinion. That's it.
Are you done?
That's your opinion.
Okay, are you done, Mr. Hobo? All right. Now, if an adult believes that they're a child, are they a child? Should we let them into children's spaces? Oh, the common
I
sense
thought you were
is
against
the
circular
common sense is the common sense is trickling in, but he's not getting it.
No, I thought you
Hold
were
on.
against circular
Answer my
argument.
question. Hold on. Come here, all type. Answer the question for this hobo. Answer my question. If an adult believes that they're a child, hillbilly. If an adult believes they're a child, are they a child?
Sure. That's what they
Oh,
want to
okay.
believe.
So if an adult believes they're a child, can an adult man go into kindergarten again? Can he enter a kindergarten class and engage in the class as a child?
What do you mean engage in the class? Is he a parent?
Yeah, can a grown man who's 50, he's chronologically 50, but he identifies as 6. Oh no, identifies as 3 years old. Can he go into the kindergarten class as a student?
I don't know. Talk to the administration.
No, I'm asking you.
I don't know the rule. Again,
Do
talk to the
y'all
administration.
see?
Maybe,
Do you
I don't know,
guys
maybe they
do you guys see the hills these dumbasses have to die on to support men who think that they're women? Your serious response to my question, which is, can a 50-year-old man identify as 3 and go into a kindergarten class? Your serious answer is, oh, I don't know.
What's their mentality? What's their? I mean,
Yeah,
I
they
don't know.
believe the mentality is very simple. The person believes that they are a child. Why can't they go into the kindergarten class?
What is their mental aptitude?
Okay, what do you mean by
Are they
mental
mentally
aptitude?
3 years old?
They
Then maybe
identify
they
as
can,
3.
man. I don't.
They
fucking
identify,
know.
yeah, then you're a pedophile. Moving right along. Bottom man, can I get your age?
Bottom man like your father, Batty boy. Anyway, good day, people. How are you, Edna? You still come out 2026, you still come over here and hate people?
Who am I hating?
Like trans people, you know, hear the man say, if him's going out the bathroom and see what woman, him gonna feel uncomfortable. The fuck? The people them be what them want be.
He
What the
said
fuck?
that.
You look like a fucking trans, dude. You look like a trans. You look like a...
This is my funny thing. You guys say I'm attacking trans people and I meet the trans people, but you use trans people's identities. You weaponize their identities to insult people.
Bitch, you gonna stop me with me?
No, but I'm asking a question. If trans people are the holy grail and you love trans people so much, why are you weaponizing being trans and using it to insult me then? It's like me saying, I love black people, but when a person disagrees with me, I call them a nigger. What would be the point?
Listen, I'm just saying.
No, but hold
why
on.
would
No,
you come over
explain
here?
to me.
No,
No,
hold on.
Hold on. Wait
Hold on.
a man. Hold on a man. I want you to explain that make that make sense in my mind to you.
No,
You're
it
saying,
doesn't
hold
make
on,
sense to me,
wait, no,
because me
wait.
not gonna feel
My nigga, wait, no man. You're saying you support trans people. If you support trans people, why are you telling another person who disagrees with your opinions on trans people that they look transgender as a way to insult them.
I'm not trying to insult you, bro. I'm just saying.
Then
like,
what was
me
the
looking
point
on the
of?
outside,
Then
looking
what
at
was
you,
the
you look like a
point?
fucking
Then
trans
what was the
person.
point? Then what was the point?
You look like a trans
Then what?
person. You
Oh,
look
so, all
funny.
right, so hold on. So you're stereotyping trans people. So trans people look a particular way.
Obviously,
Now,
you
what I
like,
want-
man. Obviously,
all right, being gay and being trans are not the same. So
obviously, you like, man, sir.
and what are you? You like
Why you keep
women?
on a blood clot? Why you keep on a mute me?
Because you keep screaming and you're not making any sense. I'm trying
No,
to
you
get a
need to come
rational.
up with a topic,
We're
yeah,
trying.
that
We're
topic
trying to
ain't
get.
come
We're
up.
trying to get. Hold on, a man. We're trying to get a
Find
rational.
something else to
We're,
talk about.
we're trying to find a rational response to what it is that you're saying. We're trying to get a rational response from you. I also want to clarify. It's very hypocritical that you guys say that I'm supposed to find something else to talk about. But the funny thing is, if I was on live every day saying trans people were valid as women when or trans women are
Nobody know why
women,
your validation.
you guys wouldn't be saying.
Nobody know why you're
you wouldn't be saying go find something else to talk about. So the people who disagree with you can't talk about what you don't want them to talk about. But if I agree with you on a topic, then
it's
I can
spewing
talk.
hate. It is spewing hate.
Okay,
sir.
how am I
It
being
is spewing
hate? Okay,
You're
hold on.
letting people
Explain.
to hate the other people. Seriously.
Explain how I am pushing hate. Explain.
First of all, as a man that uses a male restroom, I don't want to see a trans woman in there use the restroom with me.
That's
Now,
not
I
my
feel
question.
uncomfortable.
That's
I'm gonna
not
feel
my
uncomfortable.
question.
I feel like
Do you see how they can never answer questions directly? They just come up here and crash out like a little bitch. Listen, sir, I asked you a very direct question. How am I spewing hate? I didn't ask you what you were or were not comfortable with. You could be comfortable with 10 cucumbers up your batty hole. I don't care. That's not my question. What am I saying that constitutes you saying that I am spreading hate towards trans people? That is my question. Answer it, please.
because these people will go through a lot. You know, it's hard to be what they're being. You know, I feel like if they
That's
had a
not
choice,
explaining.
they wouldn't have
That's not
been trans.
explaining.
So at the end of the day, they going through a lot just to
Describing the struggles that trans people face does not explain how I am
Get the
being
fuck out of here,
hateful.
bro. And get
You see how these people don't have an answer to my questions? Are y'all hearing an answer? 'Cause I'm just hearing a bunch of rage.
yeah,
I'm
I'm
not
rage
hearing an
against
actual-
you. Rage
Do you
against
have
you.
an-
Fucking hating us.
Bumbleclot. Do you have an answer to my question, sir?
Change the fucking topic.
No. When you answer my question, I'll change the fucking topic. How about that?
Leave people alone.
Yeah. Tell the trans women to leave women alone and stop going to the restroom then. How about that? Right? I'm not hearing an
That
answer.
don't make sense.
I'm not hearing an answer
That
to
don't
my
make sense.
Yeah, it don't make sense what you're saying either, sir. Answer my question. You are saying that
If you really meet a real trans woman, sir,
Can
it's
you-
a woman.
I have met trans women.
Restroom.
All of
You don't want
them.
them in a male's restroom.
All
What the
of
hell?
them are. Sorry, excuse
It's not
me.
safe for them.
Sorry, there is no statistical evidence to indicate that trans women are unsafe in men's restrooms. None. That's a facade
First
created
of all-
by people like you to emotionally manipulate women into allowing men into their
The
spaces.
people them with hate
There
on
is-
homophobia.
where is your
they are the ones
evidence?
that's gonna attack
Where
people
is
like
your
them in their
evidence?
restroom.
Hold on,
Go yeah,
stop.
go yes, so.
You're just crashing out. My goodness. What is your evidence, or where is your evidence that trans women are unsafe in men's spaces? Where is the evidence for that?
Because homophobia lies a lot in the straight community. Because they know, understand them. So when a man go, first of all, a regular person, like a straight person, go they're in a restroom and see like a man, a woman like using, it's just uncomfortable. It seems weird.
What?
Because they are representing a woman. They are representing a woman.
That's not answering my
They
question.
are representing a
How
woman. I don't care what the fuck they are, like they presenting a woman.
How are trans women more likely to be assaulted or unsafe in the men's restroom
Seems
if
like
they
you
are
got
men?
molested in your life, you know.
You see how you're not answering anything. You just keep crashing out. Are you gonna answer?
I'm gonna continue to crash out because that topic is fuckery. Leave
Well,
people alone.
No, your arguments are fuckery because you're not answering anything. I'm giving you an opportunity to explain to me why you think I'm such a hateful person, and I'm asking you questions and you're not answering rationally. Because nothing I've said is hateful. The fact of the matter is, women's spaces are based on sex. Thank you, Gabs. Right, women's spaces are based on sex, and men don't belong in
Who the
women's
fuck
spaces.
are you?
This has nothing to do.
Somebody will look like a fucking drag queen.
See my name on my cup here.
Somebody will
That's who I
look
am.
like a drag queen. I try to bring them own people.
I'm so confused. I thought all of these labels were
You're
good
weird
things. Are you guys okay?
You are weirdo.
I'm confused. I thought being a drag queen and
You
being
look like
trans were good things. So if being a drag queen and being trans are all good things, why are they being used as insults? This is such shallow behavior. Honestly.
Shallow behavior from your mother for teaching like this for 8 people.
You don't know what a mother
Your
is.
parents never raised you properly.
My parents raised me to know that I'm a man. And my parents raised me to know that I don't belong in women's spaces. My parents raised me to have respect for women's boundaries. That's how my parents raised me. No, I know your parents raised you in a zinc house with no roof. And they told and all you ate for breakfast, lunch, and dinner was mackerel and sardines. We understand that, but that does not mean that everybody else was raised the way that you were raised. If you were raised to disrespect women, and you were raised to tell women that they need to accept men in their spaces, then that is something your parents need to sort out. So can we get L parents in chat? Any parent who teaches their child that it's okay for men to violate women's spaces and tell them that men can be women, then L parents. That's not a good parent. A good parent would never teach their child that it's okay for men to go into women's spaces and that women and men are just identities. That's not. That's not. I'm allowing trans people to live their life. There's nothing wrong with trans people living their lives, but you must live your life in a way that does not impede upon the rights and boundaries of other people.
Trans people. You don't understand them.
I do understand trans people.
Talk about them?
What don't I understand about trans people?
No, because they feel like they're trapped and they're trying to be a woman. Basically, make them be a woman.
And hold on. All right, hold on. So yes, a man can feel trapped in his body and he can feel as though he wants to be a woman. Hold on. But that man, hold on 1 second. But that person is still a man. That's the point being made. So just because
but when you send them in at the male bathroom, no violence.
I'm not sending.
The straight man, them go and look on them.
I am not.
Shit. Get the fuck out of here, you weirdo.
I am not.
Leave people alone.
I'm not sending anybody to the
men's. Leave people the fuck alone, bro.
Right. Do you want me to respond to what you're saying, or are you just going to keep shouting at me?
I don't want to hear it. Can't make no sense.
Well, I'm about to make sense. If you close the hole below your nose, maybe I can answer you. All right. So let me clarify for you. I am not sending anybody to the men's restroom. I'm telling people where they should. I'm saying that trans women, as males, should have the social dignity and the integrity. Can we all type the word integrity in chat? Have the integrity
you have the
to respect.
Integrity. What you have?
I do have integrity because I'm a man who knows that he's a man, and I don't go to women's spaces. Okay, so males need to have the integrity and the respect enough for women to not go into their spaces. That's what I'm trying to say. And you as a male need to understand that, okay? I understand and empathize with the fact that there are people out there who feel as though they are born in the wrong body or they're trapped in the body that they were born. I understand that. But you feeling as though you're trapped in the wrong body does not mean you're in an opposite body or a different one, okay? So at the end of the day, biology still matters, okay? Biology does matter. Men are human males who are adults. Just because you are a man who doesn't want to be a man doesn't mean that you get to go into women's spaces, and it does not mean that you are a woman, okay?
The person just want to use the fucking restroom, bro.
Okay, why? Okay,
why the fuck is there a label on a fucking restroom? And then you want to continue with that bullshit? Like the fuck out of here, bro! Like you spewing hate, you spewing segregation. I'm gonna crash the fuck out all the time on your motherfucker.
You're going to? You're already there.
You look like I forgot where I try to bring on them one.
Exactly. So you see how you see how these people say I spew hate, but y'all are the first to be saying slurs. I'm confused. Can I get your age, please?
18.
All right, sir. Do you disagree with the prompt?
Yeah. I want to touch on the part where you were talking about how the bad parenting. I feel like as a parent, I feel like it's your job to like make sure you show your child like the endless opportunities they can have, and they can really do whatever they want to at the end of the day. They can be who they want to. And also the thing on the bathroom, even though they're how do I explain this? I'm like, when it comes to like a bathroom situation, as you being a male, why do you feel like it's comfortable for you to speak on something with the women? If the women don't feel uncomfortable with like the transsexual being in the bathroom with them, then why is this such an issue when it comes to you? And also it's not violating their space, because at the end of the day, this person they are now becoming a woman, if they're like changing and they're becoming a woman, you take estrogen and all these other things, your like body's physically changing, your mind composition is changing, the chemicals, like everything in your body is changing as you're taking these hormones.
Sorry. Can y'all hear me? Apologies. There was a lag for a second there. Can y'all hear me? Sorry about that, y'all. The live lagged out for a second. Apologies. I just want to clarify. Do you see how sexist these people are? He thinks that men who take estrogen belong in women's spaces. No. It's not really how that works. And they're not becoming women.
Oh my god, hi Edna.
Yeah, can I get your age?
I'm 21.
Okay. Do you disagree with the prompt?
A little bit, honestly. I've been here for a little bit and I just have some questions, of course. And yeah. So when it comes to the of course the women's bathroom or the men's bathroom, because I see that we're only talking about trans women in women's spaces, what about trans men in men's spaces?
That's just a whataboutism. We're not discussing trans men, so I'm not going to facilitate that question. You guys always do this. You guys don't actually address the topic. You want to talk about something else.
Because trans men doesn't get this much hate as trans women does.
But they're not. There's no hate towards trans women. There's nothing I'm saying is hateful. I'm maintaining a boundary for women. It's not a hateful statement. Right. So trans men don't get that much attention because trans men are women, and the most of the issues are with men violating women's spaces, not women violating men's spaces.
Right. So yes, males that identify as men, because sex and gender are two different things.
No, they're not. But okay.
And so this is another question because I do love me some Blair White. I do watch me some Blair White. When it comes down to trans women and of course in a women's bathroom, we're gonna get on that topic, of course.
Before we address trans women's spaces, can you tell me what a woman is really quickly?
A young adult female.
You said gender and sex were different. Female is sex. You just contradicted yourself.
Well, that's what Google always.
I didn't ask what Google says. I asked you what you think. I asked what you think a woman is.
Well, I mean, there's a okay. Sorry. To me, when it comes to identify as, of course, as a woman, because there's this thing that's called social transitioning, and then actually transitioning.
That's not my question. What is a woman?
By Google definition.
Not by Google. Your
Young
understanding.
adult female.
Your understanding, not Google's. Do you see how these men think that they're women and they don't even know what a woman is? Can you tell me what a woman is, please? Because you were just talking about trans women in women's spaces. You were just talking about women's spaces, and then y'all wouldn't tell me what a woman was. You don't know what a woman is. Or you haven't demonstrated that you know. So, can you answer the question?
Okay.
So you don't know.
Yeah, we're good. Yes, let's because we want to talk about.
So it's my thing. You guys don't know what a woman is, but you're up here saying trans women belong in women's spaces. The irony.
Okay, so no,
you're ill-equipped. You're ill-equipped for this discussion.
So this is why I want to of course, talk about when it comes to the bathroom and stuff like that. When we, of course, have social transitioning. I'm hoping what you're social.
Thank you, Shumu. Can I get W my Shumu in chat? Thank you. Appreciate you, love.
I'm hoping that that of course, social transitioning and of course, medically transitioning. You see the difference in two of those, right?
That's not my question. That's not my question.
I know. I know it's not your question.
So then answer. Then answer the question that I'm asking you. What do you mean you know it's not my question? You're not going to answer. Well, answer my question.
Like I said, I'm going to go by Google's definition.
Okay, but the Google definition does not include trans women. So then you're conceding that trans women are not women. That's what that entails. If you're going to say...
Because Yes, we're okay. Trans women are biological males. We're not. I'm not denying that.
No, but I didn't ask you that. Are they women?
They're trans women. That's why
That's
trans.
circular. You
That's
can't say
trans.
trans women are trans women. That's not telling anybody anything. Are they a type of woman?
Are they a type of woman?
I don't know why it's taking 3 to 5 business days.
Because I don't know.
Just answer the question. Are
I know.
trans women
I
a
know.
type of woman?
Girl, I wasn't ready for this question. I want to touch on the bathroom thing.
How are you not ready for the question, what is a woman, if you're talking about women's faces? The concept of not being ready for that question when you're literally talking about women's spaces. You're literally talking about women's spaces. How are you not ready for that question?
Okay.
Okay. Right. So can we answer this? Yes, I think the lights are on, but nobody's home. Why is this so difficult?
Yes. Okay.
Why? You said trans. You saying trans women belong in women's spaces, and you don't know what a woman is, or you haven't demonstrated that you know.
See, I haven't said my point. Mind you, when I was trying to say about when it comes to the bathroom, you asked me this question, of course. I didn't get to the point where I want to. I want to ask you a question like that before you ask me this question.
Go ahead and ask a question.
Okay, thank you. So, because I've been with two trans women for like the past like 8 years, so now I feel like
Gay. Sorry.
So, I want to ask, of course, when it comes down to the women's bathroom, and like I said, I love Blair White, and what's it called? Are we saying, because I can understand, like with the certain steps, of course, when it comes to trans women in the bathroom, when they're like, of course, having makeup, having the top surgery and the bottom surgery, I think they have the right to be in the room, because why would they have something? Why would
You
they be?
think makeup makes it permissible for a person to go to the
No,
women's
pause.
restroom?
I didn't say makeup.
You did.
I said make. I did say makeup, but I didn't stop at makeup. I said top surgery and bottom surgery.
Well, bottom surgery doesn't do anything.
Let's not skip those two.
Right, but bottom surgery isn't significant either, because bottom surgery just inverts your genitalia. If inverting your penis doesn't make you any less a man, so I don't see how that means.
Yeah, of course, it doesn't make you any less as a male. But
a man is an adult human male. That's what y'all are not getting. A man is a male. Those terms are linked to each other. You can't separate the term man from male.
Okay, I guess.
Right, so trans women are male. All they're doing is inverting their genitalia, and this is meant in the most respectful way possible. You're simply inverting your genitals. A male who inverts his genitals is not a human female. Right? So it's still a human male. So why is that the reason for males to go into women's spaces? Why is that a feasible reason? I need to cough.
You're fine.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. No, I was like, sorry. I was going to say is the reason why I feel like trans women have.
Thank you. Get up your mind, chat. Thank you. Appreciate you.
We love the training. We love it. We love the gifts. No, I was gonna say, the reason why I feel like in my heart, where like yes, trans women does belong in certain, because of the certain steps that they take into these, of course, to get into the bathroom. I know, because I know our country just.
What are you saying?
I'm talking about the bathroom. I'm talking about what, like, the certain steps that trans women have to take to be into these certain spaces. I know in certain sports that even though a lot of people do not talk about, I know in certain sports that they have to take certain amount of estrogen for their bodies to be as like a lower like as to for them to lower the testosterone to play the certain sport, certain steps to be into certain sport. But the news doesn't really talk about that, which is fine. And that's what I'm saying when it comes to like the women's bathroom, of course. When it comes to women's bathroom, of course, like you said, and yes, inverting the penis.
Okay, well, we're gonna go ahead and move on. If you disagree with the prompt, go ahead and request. I don't really know what the nigga is saying. It's just not making any sense. Hello?
Hi. Okay, I just have like a few questions.
Do
My
you
first question
do
is
you
like,
agree or disagree?
oh, I disagree. I disagree.
Okay, what are your
My
questions?
my first question is like, how do you feel about like trans women if they pass like going to use the restroom? Not like as like a, I know you probably are already like no, but like if they pass and they're not like, it's nothing bad and they just want to use the restroom. Like, how do you feel about
It
that?
doesn't matter if you pass or not. There should be
Okay, so okay.
no males in women's spaces at all.
Okay, that makes sense. Me personally, I don't think that like trans women are like necessarily sexist. Well, I feel like they're not necessarily sexist, or homophobic. I don't really understand how like.
Do you think that they're women?
No, I think that trans women are trans women, but I don't think
That's
that
Are they a
we're
type of
women.
woman?
What?
Are they a type of woman?
Um, yes.
Then you think that they're women.
Okay.
If Right. So the original answer to the question is yes. So you do think trans
Yes,
women are
yes.
women.
Okay, yeah, then yeah.
Okay. Tell us what you think a woman is.
A woman is like there's a difference between sex and gender. So like a sex is like a woman. Like a woman is someone with female genitalia, like a uterus, a vagina, things like that. But
Okay. If a woman is a person with a uterus and a vagina, then trans women are not women.
there's a difference between sex and gender.
You
You
just
can like your
defined
gender can
you
be
you just defined the
female. Well,
gender.
you can be a woman, but you can't like,
You just defined the gender woman by female genitals and female reproductive anatomy.
Well,
You
yeah, I
just
said the
did that.
sexes, not the gender.
You said woman was sex. That's what you just said.
Yeah.
Okay, so if woman is sex, then trans women are not women because they're not of the female sex, they're of the male sex.
Wait, no, that's not what I said.
That is exactly what you said. Did we not just hear? Are you tracking what you're saying, love? You just said that a woman was a person born with female genitals and a uterus.
Well, no,
You
I said there's a
just
difference between sex and gender.
I
Like,
know you said gender and sex were different, but you defined
yeah,
the gender by sex. So you contradicted yourself. You said gender and sex were different, but you defined the gender by sex. So you want to try one more time and reiterating that for me? Because that's
yeah.
okay, right.
I'm sorry, I literally
So
just woke up. My brain's on like
right.
2% right now.
So a woman is
A woman is someone that's born female. Like,
you're saying the same thing again. You just said gender and sex were different. If a woman is a person born female, then gender and sex are not separate then, because you're required to be of the female sex to be a woman. You just said gender and sex were different. Am I tripping, Chad? You just asserted that gender and sex were different. If gender and sex are different, then being born female would not be the requirement.
okay, yeah.
Right. So then the question is not being
got that.
answered.
Okay, that's fine.
So the question is a misanswer. So what is a woman then? That in a way that fits what you said. If you're saying gender and sex are different, your definition of woman cannot include sex.
Well, I feel like a woman is like someone that presents as a woman, like someone that has breasts, that looks feminine, things like that. I don't
So
think
there's
like,
the sex. So there's a sexism. So you're actually proving the. Thank you. Can I
wait,
get
how does that
Shmoo
make
in
it
chat?
sexist?
Can I get W Shmoo chat? W Shmoo for the galaxies. Thank you, love. Appreciate you. W Shmoo.
Why
So
would
you
you
think
mention
women?
that?
So you are being sexist. You think women have to be? Do you think that there are masculine women out there?
Yes, there is, but I'm not saying
Right.
they're
So
men.
then, right. So exactly. So presenting as feminine or being feminine or looking feminine doesn't make you a woman.
Right, but like,
Right. So then that's not answering my question then. So I need a definition of woman, a definitive answer. What makes persons women?
genitalia.
But you said gender and sex were different. Genitals has to do with biological sex. We're not talking about
Yeah,
biological
but
sex.
if they're separate, then once like
Okay, so if they're separate, you're the one saying, I'm not saying woman and female are separate. You are. So if you're saying that they're separate, I'm asking you to tell me what makes a person a woman that is separate from sex.
Okay, you got me.
Right, so then hold on, but okay, I'm not trying to get you. I want you to answer my question. You're saying that they're women. So can you tell me what a woman is in a way that includes them and also meets the criteria for gender and sex being separate concepts?
No, I can't. I'm not gonna lie.
Right, so then why are you saying that they're women then? And why are you saying gender
Well,
and
I
sex are
said that they
different?
were trans women. Like I think that
You
trans women are
said
trans women.
you said trans women were a type of woman. If you believe that they're a type of woman, then you believe that they're women. If I say to you, tables are a type of furniture, are tables furniture?
Yes.
Right. If I say to you, windows are or I don't know, bracelets are a type of accessory. Are bracelets accessories?
Yes.
Right. So when you say trans women are a type of woman, you're saying trans women are women.
Right. Okay,
Right.
yeah,
So
that
that's
makes more
why we
sense.
need. So that's why we need the definition. Can I get the definition of woman, please? Well, this is my issue. Women like you are up here supporting the trans movement. You're saying trans women are women, but y'all don't even know what a woman is, or you haven't demonstrated that you know. Sorry. This is my issue.
Okay, well, I'm trans. That's why I'm like up here. You know, like that's why
Oh,
I said
you're a
trans women
trans
are,
woman?
yeah, that's why I'm saying trans women are trans women. I'm not saying like I'm like a woman
Oh my
100%. But like I don't think like but
Okay,
like
so you're saying trans women are, so you think you're a woman too, but you don't know what a woman is. I'm confused.
well, no, I'm not saying like I'm like 100% a woman. I think that I'm like biologically I'm male, but like physically like I'm a woman.
What does it mean to be physically a woman?
Being like looking
Thank you,
like a woman,
Kia.
being like feminine, you know
But
what I
there's
mean?
this step, but you're proving the prompt. You're proving that trans women, your view of women is sexist. You think that being, oh, thank you, Shmoo. Let me Shmoo in chat. Thank you, love. Thank you, Kia. You think that womanhood is about looking feminine. That's literally what I'm talking about regarding the sexism. You're proving the prompt. You're proving that a lot of trans women think that women are just stereotypes. Being
Well,
feminine
no, because
doesn't
I
make
mean
you a
like
woman.
I
Are
mean
there
like
masculine women?
yeah, there is. There's masculine women everywhere,
Are
but
there feminine men?
yeah.
Right. So being feminine does not make you a woman. So you can't say that you're physically a woman because you look feminine. You are literally stereotyping women. This is the issue that I'm talking about with the trans community. You guys think women are stereotypes, and then you use those stereotypes, you perform those stereotypes, and use it to claim womanhood. It's very sexist. That's the issue. Thank you, Kia.
Okay, yeah. I see what you're talking about now. I just wanted to come up here and like say what like because I don't know. I feel like in a way that you're spreading like not hate, but I feel like you have people on here like agreeing with you in the comments, and they don't even know what like they're agreeing with. I feel like they're just agreeing because they hate trans people, and I feel like
That's not true, though.
Have you read the comments? I don't want to
I
argue.
am
I'm
reading
not
the
arguing.
comments. Nobody in
But
here
like
hates trans people.
I
This
mean,
is my thing.
there's people under here saying that like they hate themselves and blah blah blah. I'm like, I think it's weird.
Okay,
how,
but
like,
there's a degree of truth to that statement. There are trans people who hate themselves. Or
yeah, but
have
not every
have an
trans woman hates themselves.
But it doesn't say all trans women. But there are trans. Well, the funny thing is being being trans does have to do with at some point, or especially if you have gender dysphoria, it does have a lot to do with a particular dislike or hate in some instances towards your biological sex. That's why you want to be the opposite. You have so much distress with your biology. You don't want to be a male or a female. And so you try to take on appearances typical of the opposite sex to alleviate that dysphoria. Is that not how being trans works? Am I wrong?
Well, yes and no. It's not the same for every trans woman. That's why I'm up here. Like it's not everyone's
I'm
the
saying
same.
for those with dysphoria. Dysphoria means distress. It's an extreme distress. Right. So you have distress. So you don't like the fact that you were born male. And so because you're suffering with that distress, you are trying to take on appearances typical of the female sex. You're trying to take on female typical characteristics.
Yeah, but not everyone's the same. Like, do you see what I mean? Like,
I'm not saying everyone. I'm saying a good amount of trans people. So nobody in the comments hates trans people. No one is saying, no, the people agreeing with me are simply agreeing with the fact that there is rampant sexism among that particular community because a lot of you guys, and even yourself in this instance, have demonstrated that you think women are just stereotypes. You think women are social performances. You think being a woman means you look feminine. when there are lots of masculine women out there who are no less women. That is the issue.
But
the beliefs that surround your idea, the belief that surrounds the ideology that you're supporting is very sexist and regressive towards women, and it needs to stop. That's all I've been trying to say. And for some strange reason, I get told that I'm bullying and I'm hating on people. This isn't hatred, right? This is the truth.
okay, well, I can see what you're saying now. Like, but you saying that like it perpetuates grape culture.
Well, I can explain the grape culture bit if you're
Yeah,
confused about that.
yeah. Can you explain that? Because
Well,
that
the grape culture comes through the lack of disclosure. Lots of trans people think that they don't have to disclose that they're trans, especially in romantic or sexual scenarios. I even had a trans woman who was just up here probably last week. You all know who Lady is, who said that I'll give you the rundown. It's a trans woman, so he's a male, right? And he's a nurse in a hospital. It's a ward for women, and when the women request a doctor who's a woman, he goes in and he doesn't tell them that he's trans. So the women are being treated by this male, and they don't know that the person is male. That's an utter disregard for medical consent, and it's being normalized. Lots of people don't think trans people owe people disclosure, and I think it's quite frankly very disgusting for you to trick people into thinking you're a different sex and then go into their spaces and then not disclose. Even then, outside of medical scenarios, it also has to do with sexual consent, right? For example, a man who is straight, who only likes women, might be interested in a trans woman because they think the person is actually a human female, okay? And so it's the trans woman, the onus is on the trans woman to disclose that you are trans. You disclose to that person that you are male, so that the person is best able to exercise something we call informed consent, where the person is made aware of all of the pertinent circumstances required to give their permission. Okay?
Right.
Lots of trans women don't want to do that. They think they don't. I've come across, how many people in here have come across lives of trans women saying they don't owe anybody disclosure? That kind of thinking is very predatory. It's very predatory. So that's what I'm addressing when it comes to rape culture. It's not all trans women, but it's certainly a certain amount, and that needs to be addressed. Because the issue is, whenever we address flaws within the trans community or the LGBTQIAPQ, whatever the fuck, we get told that we're being bigoted and hateful and we're being transphobic. It's not transphobia. The fact of the matter is, if you're a trans person, for your safety and out of respect for that person's consent, you should disclose that you are trans. It's very simple.
Okay, well, I mean, now I understand your argument. I just want to come up here and say a few words, but I'm kind of over it. Your comments are being weird. Anyways,
all my comments being weird.
I'm not.
Thank you, Shmoo. Thank you, love. How are my comments being weird? You guys always do this thing where you what are my comments saying that's weird?
They're literally. I don't know if you can see. They're tagging me saying weird ass shit.
Like what?
Someone commented and said I was ugly. You'll have to scroll and see, but I'm not lying. I'll scroll and find it.
I don't know why y'all are always trying to.
I'm not victimizing myself. I don't really care.
You low-key are, because like I don't see anybody calling you ugly. I mean, people have been calling me the F slur all morning. I'm not up here throwing a fit. Okay.
Well, I'm not throwing a fit. I don't care. They can call me a man. Blah. I don't really care. That's them. I don't really care. But I just.
All right, just to maintain the peace, guys, can we refrain from attacking people's looks in the comment section?
I don't really care.
I don't see it anywhere, but I'm just saying it before I get tagged in a video saying I'm promoting bullying, because everybody's been talking about how I'm bullying. I'm apparently bullying trans people, and no one in my comments is doing it, and I'm not doing it. So I don't know what y'all are talking about. But all right, is that it?
Yeah, that's it. Anyways, you have a good day. You are a beautiful person, and yeah, that's it.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good day.
Alrighty. I get your age, please.
20.
Beautiful. Do you disagree with the prompt, sir?
I do, yep.
Alright, sir. Why don't you go ahead and tell me why you disagree?
Would you do that first? I'm just anxious, so I'm trying to, yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
Could you do that first?
I can't tell you why I disagree with the prompt. It's my prompt.
No. Could you tell me why you agree with the prompt?
Oh, why I think trans women are sexist? Well,
Yeah.
I just explained this. Trans women, a lot of them are sexist because they think that womanhood is about stereotypes. It's part of the sexism that women perpetuate. Trans women perpetuate. Sorry, they think that women are social constructs. I hear that quite a lot from trans women or people in general who are pro-trans. That women are social constructs of gender roles and gender norms and expectations. You all think that that's what women are. That kind of belief system is very sexist, and to use those
Mm-hmm.
social constructs which largely just consist of stereotypes, and then use those using those things to claim womanhood is sexist.
Yep. Okay. And I was like mostly interested in the perpetuate grape culture. And why is that?
Were you not in the guest request 10 seconds ago? I feel like I explained all of this.
No, I wasn't here. I'm sorry.
Okay, all right. So it has a lot to do with lack of disclosure. Okay, so I'm making it clear. Any trans person who doesn't disclose that they are trans before engaging in sexual or romantic interactions, it is either deceptive or sexual assault or rape in the case where penetration occurs.
Okay. Well, I do agree, but partially because I feel like they should disclose this and when they commit into a deeper relationship with someone.
I think from
You
the
know?
first date it should be disclosed.
From the first date, okay, but for like random people, for example, if they're just at work or somewhere else, I don't think they
Trans
should,
people
you
don't
know.
have to disclose. I don't think they have to disclose in a workspace. I'm not sure about that. I don't know. I don't think they have to. But when it comes to restrooms, they should respect the sex-based restrooms of the space. I think your employer. I think your employer should know. I don't think your colleagues need to know. I'm not sure how we feel about that, chat. Y'all can let me know.
Okay, but also with the rise of like gender neutral bathrooms, I guess pretty much I wouldn't say it's a problem for trans women to use the women's bathroom, to be honest.
You
And
don't think it's
also,
okay, or you do think it's okay?
I do think it's okay. Yeah,
Why?
because there's little to no evidence that trans women or trans men participate in violent crimes.
You don't have to be violent to not be allowed into women's restrooms. You just have to be a male to not be allowed in women's restrooms. That doesn't to do with violence. The fact of the matter is they're male. So it
Yeah.
has nothing to do with violence. They are not women, so they should not be in women's spaces. So I don't need to be a violent man for persons to remove me or say that I don't belong in. I'm not a violent man. I've never done anything violent physically towards women. I'm not allowed in women's restrooms regardless because I'm a male. It has nothing to do with violence.
Yeah, but why does it have to be this way?
Why does it have to be what?
Why does it have to be this way?
Why does what have to be what way?
Why do they?
Andy left. Can I get your age?
Hi, I'm 32.
Okay. Do you disagree with the prompt?
Yes.
Okay. Why do you disagree?
So, I mean, we can start with the trans women are sexist part. So,
Why do
do
you
you
disagree?
believe? Yeah. So, I think that trans women are more so victims of sexism in our sexist culture more than they are perpetuating it.
Okay. Do you think that they're women?
Yeah, I think trans women are women generally.
What makes them women? I want y'all to listen to this. And y'all know what to
Yeah,
type in chat, by the way. Thank you, Marie. Appreciate you. Yeah,
So
what makes them women?
there's the biological component, which we all know, adult, human, female. And then there's the social component aspect. So I would say somebody who phenotypically presents as a female, typical female.
Okay, what are the phenotypical traits of a typical female that women present with that define them as women? Listen very carefully, y'all.
So like usually breasts, they have larger hips, usually like more full faces, rounder faces. I don't know the intrinsics of it, but there are many different phenotypes that are attributed to
Are
women.
there men with fuller faces, with wide hips, who
Yeah.
have right? So none of these things make persons women. Men can have all of these things. They're not women. right?
Sure, but
So,
that's why I
right.
say typical.
No, oh, I didn't ask you for typical. I'm asking you for things that define all women. Because you're not saying typically trans women are women. You're saying all of them are women, right? All of them are valid as women.
I'm saying socially, and
Yeah.
something that is social is not going to be like objective. It's going to
I'm not
be
asking you for something objective versus definitive are not the same thing. I'm not talking about objective. When you said you're talking about the social construct, so obviously social constructs are not objective. Under your view, however, what categorizes women definitively? I just want to clarify.
I can't.
None of the characteristics you actually listed were social. Wide hips are as a result of female typical dimorphism. It has to do with biology. And breasts are a secondary sexual characteristic. Those are all biological. None of those things were social, come to think of it.
Sure, but it's something that somebody can, get surgery or whatever, and people in society will deem that as female rather than male.
But those things don't make persons women because there are women. Oh, thank you, Kata. Could have been Kata in the chat. Thank you. Appreciate you, love. Appreciate you, Kata. Right? Those things are not definitive of women, however. Right? So that's not what makes a person a woman.
Sure, but that's okay. So
right. So I'm asking you what makes them. I'm asking you what makes them women socially, because all you listed were stereotypical attributes associated with the female sex, which is, by the way, sexist.
That's not sexist. It's just that's how society categorizes women.
The society is sexist towards women, so we are going to correct. So okay. Hold on. So when if you acknowledge that society does it in a sexist way, why are you upholding that sexism by saying that if men perform those things, then they can become women? Do you not understand?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
That's how we all operate in society.
That's not how I operate. I don't categorize. I don't categorize and define women by those characteristics. I may perceive women or assume or infer that a person may be a woman through those characteristics. That's just called pattern recognition. That doesn't make them a woman, however. So you have to distinguish between pattern recognition as opposed to defining women, okay? So pattern recognition is specifically important when it comes to perceiving persons, okay? So yes, there are certain typical or stereotypical traits associated with women that we use when we're trying to perceive persons as men and women. I didn't ask you how we perceive them as women. I asked you what defines them as women, okay? So you defining women by stereotypes is where the issue is.
Yeah, so it's not going to be an objective definition.
I'm not asking you for an objective definition because definitions are not objective. So I'm not asking you for that.
Everything that I'm going to say socially, like anything that's social is going to be up to society, determined by society. So
okay, but hold on. You can say it's up to society, but the society is sexist. You just said trans women are recipients of sexism, not the persons perpetuating it. But you're proving that you're proving that they perpetuate it because you're saying that they're women because of those sexist standards. So it's very ironic what you're saying. I don't think you understand the irony in what you're saying. You're saying trans women, hold on. You're saying trans women are the recipients of sexism, but you're the one perpetuating the sexist norms. And you're saying that they can be women if they partake in and perform those sexist norms. That's the issue. Am I being, Chad, am I being clear, by the way?
Yeah, I get your point, but the fact is we still go by society. We still go by society standards.
We don't, because you agree that there are persons who are women who do not meet those standards. So we do not define women by those standards. You are going by those standards, and that's what makes you as a person supporting trans people sexist.
Okay, so we're gonna say that most people in society don't go by those standards. Is that what you're gonna say?
Most people in society do not define women by those standards. Most people in society might associate those characteristics that you're referencing with women, but we don't define persons by those things. I also want to clarify, just because most people do something doesn't mean it's valid. Most people in the 1800s thought it was okay to enslave a black person. It does not mean it was okay to enslave a black person, okay?
Yeah, I'm not saying it's valid. I'm not saying it's right.
But you are, because you're saying trans women are valid as women socially because they fit the societal standard. That's not how that works. You're appealing to majority, and you're, in this context, referencing stereotypes. You're referencing a bunch of social norms that have actually been used to historically oppress women. You're referencing beauty standards. You're referencing the shape of women's bodies, things that are often actually used to sexualize women. Those things do not define women. And there are lots
Okay.
of women who do not meet those criteria. So this is my issue. Women who are supporting the trans movement are also sexist because you're supporting their sexism and then saying that it's not sexist.
Okay, so Edna, you just admitted that you yourself identify women in society based off of their phenotypes, their presentations, etc., right?
I
That's
said
what
that
you
I can no, and it needs to be phrased correctly because you're oversimplifying it. I said that I can often perceive or I often infer or make assumptions about who is a man or a woman based on those things, but I'm not defining them by those things. I made that clear.
Okay, so you're saying in society, if you see somebody that looks typically female, that you're not going to say that's a woman, you're just going
That's
to say,
not what
I don't know.
that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that there are particular characteristics that we perceive. Can we all take the word perceive? That's the operative word. That we perceive men and women through. Okay, perceiving them through those things is not the sexism because there are patterns between men and women. It's called pattern recognition. Okay, so yes, there are going to be typicalities between men and women, but that does not define them. Let me give you an example. A person can have a particular pattern recognition for how people of different racial groups talk, for example. So typically, black people talk a particular way, and typically white people talk a particular way, right? Right?
I'm not actually going to agree with that. Sometimes it depends.
Right. The same thing applies for men and women. I wouldn't say I define a black person who talks a particular way or a white person talks a particular way. There are patterns typically for how white and black people talk, but I'm not going to define white and black people by those things. Okay? So it wouldn't be racist for me to say, yes, typically black people talk a particular way. It's not, that wouldn't be racist. But for me to say a person is black if they talk that way, or a white person can become black if they talk that way, that would be racist. The same applies to you for men and women when it comes to sexist. Yes, women are typically feminine, and yes, men are typically masculine. That's a pattern recognition. There's nothing wrong with you acknowledging that that's the case. But when you say women are defined by that femininity, or a man can be a woman if he takes on those feminine traits, you're being sexist.
Okay, but that's not what that's not what I'm saying anyway.
It is. You're saying trans women are women socially because they have typical traits associated with the female sex. Those are just feminine traits. That's what you're saying.
I'm saying if society, if somebody can go about in society and be viewed as a woman, a female, or whatever, and everyone in that society, they pass as a woman in day-to-day life, then I would say socially they are a woman.
Okay, sure. If a white person goes through steps to be perceived as a black person, are they black?
It depends on the society. If society has that standard,
Yeah, give an
and they
example
pass,
of a society where it would be acceptable for a white person to be considered black.
probably no society would accept that
Why?
because it's problematic.
Why isn't it problematic when a man tries to pass as a woman?
It
What's the
depends.
difference?
I
What's the
agree
difference?
in some
What's the
instances.
What's the difference?
Yeah, so we know that white people historically have oppressed black people.
And men have historically oppressed women.
Yeah, but not a specific type of men.
Yeah, no, just men. All men, males.
Yeah,
Right. So what's the difference?
yeah, so I would say the difference is, first of all, we know that gay men, they have been oppressed by
No, okay, hold on.
heterosexual.
That has to do with sexuality. We're not talking about subsects of
Right.
sexuality.
But
We're
you're
talking
saying,
about gender-based oppression. That has nothing to do with your sexuality and everything to do with
but you're giving a broad
with what gender you are. Okay. So yet again, what is the difference?
yeah, so you're generalizing all men, and I'm saying there's a
I'm
specific.
not generalizing all men. I'm saying that particular gender category has historically oppressed women. That's what I'm saying. And that's a fact, right? The same way that white people, right, persons of that race historically have oppressed. Oh, thank you, thank you, Shmoo. Appreciate you, love. Thank you, love. Right? That in the same way that persons who are white, right, have oppressed black people systemically and historically. So why is it okay for a man who is of the oppressor class to emulate women and then make them be called women, but it's not okay for a white person to go through procedures to pass as black and be black? Why is
Like I
it
said,
is the person valid as black? Is a white person who goes through procedures to pass as black?
Yeah, so like I said, in some instances, I do think it
I,
can be
and I
fine.
asked you in what you said. Give an example of an instance where it would be okay for a white person to transition to be black and be black.
Oh, for that specifically, I mean, I personally haven't looked into it too much, but I would say generally most
Doesn't
of it
exist.
okay. But I
It
could
doesn't
also be
doesn't exist.
biased. I could also be biased on that topic. So
It's not bias. You just have common sense. It's very much common sense that a white person can't be black. It's common sense.
okay.
Is there any circumstance to you where a white person can become black?
No, I mean somebody would have to present it.
Okay, so yet again, why is it okay then for men to be women? What's the principal difference? What makes one invalid and the other one valid when the principles are exactly the same?
Okay, so I don't know, you'd have to give an exact parallel because I just feel like gender
I
is,
lied. I laid out the parallel to you already.
yeah, I don't know. I haven't
Thank
looked
you,
too much
K-Dot.
into the race aspect of it, but I
You're
just
gonna
feel
be
like
K-Dot in chat.
they're not perfectly parallel, so it's
They are
hard.
perfectly parallel. Where is the disanalogy? Where is the disanalogous nature of the analogy? Explain to me where, because every instance you said they weren't the same. We actually proved they weren't the same. You said it's different because white people have oppressed black people, but men have also oppressed women. So that's not an answer, right? So what's the difference? What makes what changes the principle such that one is invalid and the other one isn't?
Okay,
You
so I
cannot.
would say trans women that don't put in, like, let's say they just barely do anything to transition and they essentially just look like a man, like a typical man. I would say they're more so dangerous than a trans woman that actually, gets procedures done,
That's not
takes
answering my
hormones.
question.
I mean, it is because they're
It's
actually doing
not, because that's not
something.
my question.
Okay, I'm trying to answer it. I'm saying they're actually doing something to
Repeat the question.
you said what is the difference between a trans person or men
No, okay.
being women or whatever you said.
Stop. You're saying that a person who goes through procedures to look black as a white person is not valid as black, even though they pass as black.
No, I
Okay?
said they can't. Okay, society
You
makes them
said,
valid.
sorry, I asked you what you thought. You said that the person is not valid as black. And I asked you, is there any conceivable situation where the person would be valid as black? And your answer was no. Okay? If
Okay,
that is the case, okay,
let
great.
me rephrase
So
my
now you're going to
question.
change your answer again.
No, because originally I said it would depend on society. I'm
And I
saying
asked you
me
to give an
personally.
exact. No, hold on, stop. When you said that, I asked you, can you give an example of a society where that would be socially acceptable? And you said there wasn't one. Chad, am I wrong? Because you said this. We went over this already. You literally said that it was contingent upon the society. I said to you, give me an example of a society where that would be acceptable. And you said there wasn't one. So now that we've gone that out of the way, you're saying that a white person who goes through procedures to pass as black would still not be black, regardless of the fact that they pass as black. Now, I'm asking you to tell me what is the difference between that and a man who goes through procedures to look like a woman or pass as a woman.
Okay.
Why is he a woman, but the person in the other scenario isn't black?
All right, I misunderstood what you were saying at first. So that person could be considered black. Me personally, I wouldn't want
Considered black by who?
Who knows? A society might accept that.
What
Because
society?
race is
What
so
society? What society would accept that?
I don't know.
Then you can't say that there's a society that accepts it because there isn't one. So then
Sure,
you're
in
repeating this.
reality,
You're repeating the same thing again. We've been over this. So there is no society that would accept a white person going from white to black, even if they go through procedures to pass as a black person. So what is the difference between that and a man trying to be a woman? Why is he valid as a woman, but the white person isn't valid as black?
all right, so you're just saying because there is no society yet that has accepted it, that means that trans women are invalid?
That's not what I'm saying. No, you're saying that there isn't a society that would accept it. Because
Yeah, I
first
mean,
you
there
said,
could be.
okay, so where is the society?
Like I said, it does. I don't know if it
Okay, so then
exists.
stop saying that there is. So then stop saying there is a society. You saying there could be a society isn't answering my question. I didn't ask you. I didn't ask you whether or not we would accept them as black. The question was, would the person be black in a society now? And you. Oh, thank you, Marie. Can I get W Marie in chat? Thank you, Marie. Appreciate you. I asked you whether or not the person would be black, and you said no.
Yeah, in my opinion, no.
Okay, great. So the person is not black in your opinion. Then what is the difference between that as opposed to a trans? Sorry, what is the difference between that and a trans woman who is trying to look a man who is trying to look like a woman? Why, in your opinion, is he a woman, but the white person who goes through procedures to look black isn't black?
Because me personally, like I said, I am biased because I personally see
That's
more
not a response to my.
harm.
That's not a
That
response
is,
to my
I
question.
see more inherent harm with somebody, a white person pretending to be black. Like
What's the
definitely.
harm? What's the harm?
I see them infiltrating black spaces,
Men are
misrepresenting.
infiltrating women's spaces.
Sure.
Right, so that's not the difference. Both are harmful.
I just think it's easier for somebody to just change their race and pretend to be another race and then just go.
Is she hearing herself?
I'm dead ass.
I don't think she's listening to herself. Right?
No, I see what you're. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Right. So yet again, you haven't explained the difference between the two. You just keep highlighting how they're the same, and then you but your response to the principle changes. You keep contradicting yourself. So my question is, why is the white person not valid as black, but the man is valid as a woman? What is the difference between those two things?
Let me highlight the difference. So I think I agree that males can infiltrate female spaces and be trans. I agree with that. But the difference is I see more inherent harm and potential danger.
What is the inherent harm?
You said what is the inherent? Okay, so like I said, I think somebody can infiltrate black only spaces and try to basically spy on black people.
Why is that more inherently dangerous than men going into women's spaces?
Because I think if a cisgender man were to do these things, then I would agree with you.
That's not answering my question. Why is it no, that's not the question. Why is it more inherently harmful for a white person to infiltrate black spaces as opposed to a male infiltrating women's spaces? What is more inherently harmful about that?
Because I see them more likely to take advantage of
Why?
And
why?
Why? Like I said, I think I'm biased because I'm black.
Okay, so you don't have an actual answer. So you can't say, okay, so you have no backing for your statement that it is more inherently harmful.
There's just more research for trans women versus.
Sorry, that's not answering my question.
I mean that is.
No, my question is, why is it more inherently harmful? That doesn't answer my question. It doesn't explain how it's more inherently harmful. So at the end of the day, at the end of the day, you have a principle issue. You don't actually have the justification for the principle. That's the issue here. So you don't actually know. So you don't support transracialism, but you support transgenderism when they're both principally the same. So you have what we call you're basically special pleading. So you have the principle, but you're not applying the principle where it suits you.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I haven't thought about it.
Okay, so if you're special pleading, then your argument is invalid.
Sure, I guess when it comes to that specifically.
Okay, so then, all right. So then, just want to clarify, you've proven that trans women are sexist.
I haven't proven that.
You did prove that trans women were sexist, and you proved. Hold on. Not only, thank you, Shmoo. Not only did you prove that they were sexist, you proved that you were sexist. Because you think that a man, because you think, no, we're not far. That was the entire point of the analogy. The point proven there is that, thank you, Marie. Can I get you, Marie and Shmoo in chat? Thank you, guys. The point being made there is that persons who are men, right, who take on norms associated with women, they go through procedures to emulate women in a very stereotypical way, are being sexist. Do you know what the definition of sexism is?
Yeah, sure.
What is sexism?
Basically stereotyping women.
So it's prejudice, stereotyping, or discrimination, typically against women on the basis of sex. You are helping trans women perpetuate that when you say that they are valid as women because they take on stereotypes and they perform stereotypes typically associated with the female sex. That's what you're doing.
But
So
that's
you're
what I was trying to understand from you. If society is stereotyping women and society views women as this phenotypical presentation, the way that women behave, etc., then
I'm
trans women are
trying
just
to, no, I'm trying to get rid of that belief system. People like you are upholding it. I'm trying to get rid of the idea that women have to be feminine. I'm trying to rid the society of that idea that women have to perform particular roles and women have to look a particular way and women have to talk a particular way and women have to behave a particular way. All of those things are very, very sexist. I don't like that idea in society. Now, if we want to stand against sexism, we need to stop believing in those things. The issue with the trans community and persons like yourself who are pro-trans is that you stand with those values and you perpetuate those values and then you enforce those values and then you tell people that they can be men and women if they take on stereotypes typical of the opposite sex. You're upholding a system of sexism, okay? So that's what you're doing.
I have a question. So
Thank you, Gold. I'm so sorry. Can I get W Gold in chat? Thank you. Can I get W Gold? Appreciate you. Thank you, Gold, for the meteor shower. Appreciate you. He's going crazy with the gifts. He's lighting up my gallery. Thank you, Gold. Can we all spam W Gold in chat? Appreciate you. Thank you. He's always going crazy with the gifts all the time. Thank you, Gold. I love you. I appreciate you, love. Thank you so much. Go ahead and finish what you're saying. I'm sorry.
Okay, I just have a question. So if you're trying to get rid of gender stereotypes, would you agree, like when people have their children and they put boys in, typical gendered clothing and girls in typical gendered clothing, and they have toys associated with those genders?
Girl. 1 second. Let him finish with the gifts before I continue because I'm gonna keep smiling. Thank you, Gold. I appreciate you. All right. Go. I think he's done. Go ahead. Go with your questions now. Thank you, Gold. Go ahead. You can ask your question now. Okay, he's not done. Is she gone? Thank you, Gold. Okay, guys, we are not far from popular number. Like, we're not far from podium on popular. Can we hit podium on popular? We're at 33K. We're at 38K for podium. Can we hit podium while we wait for? Oh, she left. Oh, okay. Hey.
Hi, I haven't been up for over a month. I just wanted to chill with you.
Oh, no problem.
But yeah, I haven't been up for a month, and I just wanted to come up because
Yeah, no problem. That's fine.
some people don't even know who I am.
It's fine. Oh God, here comes Lauren.
While we wait for people really quickly, hang on, Lauren. While we wait, if you aren't already, guys, make sure you join Nate's Discord. The link is in his bio. Also, subscribe to his YouTube channel. That's also in the link tree in his bio. But do that. Even if you disagree, you can join the Discord. You can debate in there.
This Lauren girl is just she always comes in here and she's really anything. Lauren.
Hi, how are you today? I'm Lauren. I'm 34 from Texas. I have asthma. So there's a couple of my cats that are actually conservative.
Lauren, don't forget your pronouns. What are your pronouns?
I tend to go by she, her.
He, her.
My cat Tootsie and my cat Mary Kate Ashley and Margie are all conservative. And
why are they all M's?
I don't know, but I'm gonna tell you, they're conservative, and we have meetings. I do different programs for the cat. 3 times a week, we have grief counseling to mourn the loss of our neighbor that didn't have any legs.
Baby, I'm so sorry. I think you need a little bit more than brief counseling.
No, that's for the neighbor with no legs that passed away. But yeah, I do have a few conservative cats. My baby daddy is very conservative.
I'm not really understanding what the point of this is.
But they would tell you that trans women are not women.
Okay, but I'm not asking about your cats. Do you think trans women are women yourself?
I do. I would like, if somebody wants to be called a woman, I'm going to call them a woman.
I didn't ask you that. Do you think that they are women?
Yes, in their head, yes.
No, are they women to you?
In my head, Well, yes, but there are exceptions, and I do not like Lily Tino. And I know none of my cats or my Boston Terrier like Lily Tino. I do like Hunter Schaefer. I think she passes very well. I do have a trans
Hello.
friend. My
Okay.
cat did have an abortion. Margie had an abortion.
What is this lady on?
She had an abortion a year ago.
Oh my god, this is not my topic. Listen.
I just wanted to wish
Okay,
you.
I'm sorry.
You've
Can she get a reality show? I would watch that shit.
I would not watch her and her stupid
I
cat.
fucking would. I fucking
I'm
would.
not watching a cat get an abortion. Wasn't this person just up here? Hello? Oh, the person who was eating their food. Alright. Let me just clarify. This person requested before to come up onto the panel and eat
You
food.
mad ugly, I'm not gonna lie, bro.
Oh, okay. Alright.
You literally have 69 as your
Mad
profile picture.
ugly,
Isn't that
I-
a rat?
Do you see how these people, the pro-trans people? I thought y'all were the tolerant kind. Why are you all
I don't
being
like
so
trans
in-
people.
Oh, why are you?
I thought you was a trans.
Girl, 69's a rat. Go deal with the fact your
I've
idolizing
never
a rat before
understood
you
this.
come for my friend.
My beef is with trans women because trans women have made it to such a point where feminine men can't exist anymore without us being called trans. I can't just look the way that I look. This is just how I look. What am I supposed to do?
Get that surgery.
Like what am I supposed? This is how I look. What do y'all want me to do? And what does the way I look have to do with my belief that men cannot be women? Where's the relevance? I'm confused. Like, y'all want me to look ugly? Like, I don't really get this.
Well, no, I'm kidding.
No, I was asking, like, what is the point of like this concept? Now, y'all come up and say that I don't. Can someone who is pro-trans explain to me what the reasoning is behind when you call me a trans person as an insult? I'm just wondering. Like, you say that I look trans, but I'm like, but what does it mean to look trans? So feminine men,
Thank you for the gals.
feminine men must just all think that we're all trans now. I'm just confused.
I'll help you
I've
with your
never
confusion.
Wait, bro, I just want to
I'm just-
apologize. I'm not pro-trans like that, bro. I just
Okay, so-
I thought
so-
you were trying to look like a lady because you look mad feminine.
But this is how
What's it called?
this is my
Feminine.
face. This is
But
my
why
face.
can't you just act like your gender though, bro?
Act like my jet? What is that? This is my thing. What does it mean to act like a man? You tell me.
But you
how
over
am I
here, you
supposed
got your
to
hair
act?
parted like you a lunch lady and shit.
I
don't
can't
know.
part my hair.
You just over here like your voice a tone,
Okay, I won't
like your
part my
hair,
hair.
like.
I'll mess up the part. Look,
Wait,
we'll
okay,
just-
wait. If you're not trans,
Look, I have no
what do you
part
call it?
now. Guys, do you like my non-parted hair?
Bro, I'm just trying to understand.
You
I thought
guys
you was
like
one
my
of the trans women.
non-parted hair.
Bro, it's not that deep. I'm just trying
Non-parted.
to
It's not. I'm
understand.
acting like my gender.
No,
This
you need to
is-
go
I'm
around
just-
calling women
This
bitches.
is my gender, guys. I'm
I'm just
supposed to
trying to-
act like my gender.
Okay, so you think trans women
the
are women?
gender man doesn't have their hair part. So this is me.
Wait,
So-
can we talk about how 69 has longer hair than me in your profile picture? He's not doing very
Wait,
man
then, if
things
you
right
don't want
there.
to be a woman,
It's
why
my
are you acting
gender.
like that?
This is my gender, guys. This is madness.
Get off the couch.
Wait, so
I
if
look like a
you're
fucking
not
lion.
a I don't know. If you're not one of those, then what are you?
I'm just-
wait,
man.
I'm just
you're like
confused.
the non-binary. You're they them.
I
You
don't
like you a they them. Yeah,
No,
you a they
I'm-
them. You a they them.
No, I'm not. I'm a man.
Gender,
Wait. My question is,
bro. Okay, I'm listening.
why
listening.
do men have to act a particular way? Why?
Well, what do you just? Why would you could say that about trans women too, though?
I'm not saying
Because they're
trans women.
born male.
I'm not saying trans women
They're
can't
born
act a
male, so
particular.
they can act and do what they want. According
That's my
to you,
point.
right?
That's my point. Trans
So
women
you're
can act.
pro-trans, so
no,
people should be allowed to
trans women
transition.
can act however they want. It does not
Perfect.
make you a
Okay,
woman.
wait, you're pro-trans?
Oh my
Wait,
god.
so you is trans
listen,
or
listen.
you
listen,
just said that?
Listen to the.
man
Can you mute
how
him,
they
please,
should
so I
act.
can talk? Because he just
You
keeps
just said
over
why
talking.
to
Can you
tell
mute him,
men
please?
how they
Can you
should
can you
act.
mute him because he's just over talking me and it's getting annoying. Men
No,
can
it's because I
act
caught you
however.
up.
Can you let me
You
talk?
can't defend yourself.
I am trying to, but your
It's
mouth
a whole
won't
lot of
shut.
nothing, though.
Can
But
you stop talking so I can respond to what you're saying?
and if you mute me again,
Yes,
you're weak.
men can
I'm
act
gonna be
however they
quiet.
want,
But
and trans women can act however they want. That's my fucking point. Men can act however they want. It does not make them women, because being a woman is not about how you act. It's about what you were biologically born. That's my point. It flew over your head like a motherfucking frisbee. That's literally my point. Yeah, they're not women because of biology, not because of how they act. They can act however they want. So what they can live how they want. They're not women. That's my prompt. Bumbleclot. That's what's written on the prompt. Can I get your age?
19.
Are trans women?
I also thought you were a trans woman because of your
That's
name.
not my question. Are trans women?
They look like women.
That's not the question. Are they women?
If they can pass.
Oh, so we have a chaser. Go outside chaser! Chat, we love our chasers. Okay, all right. Tell me what it means to pass as a woman. What makes a person a woman? Define woman for me. Sound like you taking dick.
Like XX chromosomes?
You don't see a person's chromosomes. You said the person had to look a particular way.
Yeah, because like when some trans women go to the bathroom, no one like says anything to them because they believe that they're a woman.
Right, and some customers go into the employees only space who look like employees and nobody says anything to them. Is it okay? Why you keep moaning like you taking something up the ass?
Sorry, it's just a habit.
Let's refrain from that for me, please.
Sorry.
Yeah. So, is it okay?
No, not ethically.
Why?
Because they're not employees.
Right. So men don't get to go into women's spaces even if they look like women because they're not women. So how are they women?
Yeah, but I think now they added to the definition, but I don't know the exact definition it is now.
You want to take a moment and look at it for me so we can educate ourselves in the chat? Can you want to take a minute so we can?
Okay.
Now you're gonna get called ableist. This guy's stimming. Leave him alone.
He's not stimming. I don't know what it is, but it's funny. I'm sorry. I wanna, because everyone keeps saying the definition of woman has expanded, but no one will explain the expansion. So maybe he can educate us and tell us what the expansion is. Women, women in chat, are y'all interested to figure out how your existence has been expanded to include men? Are the women in? I think the women in chat are really interested to hear. Man, if my grandmother was here to see this. Rest in peace, by the way. So, I'd love to know.
It says that we use cluster concepts to define men.
Okay. What can you further elaborate?
Like typically it has to do with femininity,
which is just stereotypes.
Yeah, but that's only typical.
Right, but I'm not asking you for typical. Like that would just be a description about women. You could say women are typically feminine, but that's not defining women. Right? We're asking for a definition of
definition. Most people define words based on cluster concept, like sandwich.
A sandwich? How is a sandwich a cluster concept?
Well, we usually define them based off of cluster concepts.
That you're just repeating that it's like how is a cluster? What? How is a sandwich a cluster concept?
Because some people think that like what's it called? Hot dog could be a sandwich.
It is.
It is? Oh, wait, how do you define sandwich then?
Pardon?
How do you define it? Because you're saying a hot dog is a sandwich.
Yeah, it just needs to be any form of food that is put between bread or baguettes or pizza. Anything between, if you just need two, and once there's anything in between it, it's a sandwich.
So then would sushi be a sandwich?
Sushi is a roll. You don't roll a sandwich.
You think seaweed's bread?
Seaweed isn't bread.
Wait, does it have to be bread?
I just said that. I said bread.
No, not you. I was talking to Haru, I think.
Yeah, it has to be bread. You can just call me Rue. Yeah, it has to be bread.
Bread or rolls or pizza, like those kinds of things, and then it would have to be filled with something, at least one thing.
So yeah, sushi wouldn't be a sandwich because it's either wrapped in rice or seaweed.
Right, and it's right. It's wrapped, not put together like so.
Would a taco be a sandwich?
I'd say so. What do y'all think?
No, because it's not
No?
a pair. It's a singular piece. It has to be two
Oh,
sets.
yes,
two slices,
that's true. Yeah, it's not, no, taco would not be a sandwich, no, because it's wrapped. It's like
It's one piece,
It's
not
one
two.
thing that's cupped like this. Yeah.
All right, fine. Maybe sandwich was a bad example. Like, are there like no words you can think of which require like cluster concepts because you can't define them? Like exactly, precisely.
Not that I can think of. And if there were stuff like that, if there were words like that or concepts like that, I wouldn't be debating them because I'm not able to give a clear understanding. I can just give you a general understanding. I'm not asking you to give me some general, not thought through definition of woman. I'm asking you for something that's thought through that makes us know that you're actually prepared for this kind of discussion. Not some general statement. People can have general senses of what words mean, and they can use cluster concepts to typically identify or generalize about it. I'm not asking
so don't they do that with the word woman too?
No, but you can do that. You can do that in a general sense, but we're having a debate. So I require something more specific there. Persons can have a colloquial understanding. And to be honest, in the context of gender, people's colloquial understandings of women are often quite sexist. And that's the idea that I'm trying to get out of people's minds. So when you say women are typically feminine and women are defined by femininity, that is very sexist because there are lots of women who do not conform to those expectations and norms and they're not feminine.
Yeah, but that's why typically is used there.
Yeah, okay, if I said to you, typically Asian people are good at math. Is that a definition of an Asian person?
No.
Why? It's a typicality. So it's a part
is
of
that even a
cluster.
typicality though?
Yeah, sure.
I don't even know if that's proven to be a typicality.
Yeah, typically Asian people are good at math. Wasn't there a statistic on that we looked up, Rue, that when we compared the races, Asian people were statistically better at math?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. So is that a definition, or would that be a tad?
There's like a better definition for that. I feel.
Exactly. Just like when you say women are typically feminine, there's a better definition than that.
Oh, so then
that's the point. So it would not be a very good definition because it's going to be stereotypical.
So what would be your better definition for it?
Adult human female.
But then that would exclude trans women.
Yeah, because they're not women.
But they want to be seen as women.
Okay. I don't know. Transracial people want to be seen as the opposite race. Some white people want to be seen as black. Should we expand the definition of black to include transracial white people?
All right, that's a good point, actually.
Right.
I haven't thought.
I don't think it matters that they want to be women. They're not women at the end of the day. So you still think that they're women?
I'll definitely think about it more. I'll probably move towards agnostic for now.
Okay. All right. No problem. Thank you for coming up.
All right. Thanks for the conversation.
Of course. All right. Request of only if you disagree. Don't go up into my panel and crash out. Okay. We don't want any crash outs. If you think trans women are women, go ahead and request.
Yo.
Oh, dear God. Hello.
No, yo, I'm chill now. I'm chill, bro. I promise.
I don't know who you are.
What are you still eating? Oh my God.
Man, I'll be hungry.
Man, well, eat your food.
All
Bro,
right.
you can eat this. Never
How
mind,
old?
bro.
How old are you?
Huh?
How old are you?
Why, bro? I'm not into guys, bro. Don't be asking me no weird shit, bro.
Okay, how old are you?
Huh?
Okay, how old are you?
Girl, I don't want your ugly either.
You don't know what I look like.
She think I want her?
She,
But anyways.
she just want to know how old you are for TikTok
okay,
terms of service.
anyways. So wait, so you still think trans woman is a girl?
How old
No,
are
I
you?
don't. We don't think that they're girls.
Wait, I'm so confused. Why you got that wig on then, bro?
I
Bro,
don't have
I'm
a-
mad confused.
I don't have a.
I can't.
You know your hair looks nice when they think it's synthetic hair. Or is it a backhanded compliment? Is it when a person asks you if your hair is a wig?
Yeah.
Yo, what's up?
Oh, yes. Can I get your age?
I'm 19.
Right. Are trans women?
No, I don't feel like they're women.
Okay. We're looking for. Oh shit. Okay. I have to end the live. Hold on.